Dear friends, in this video I'd like to do a machine on the Vulnhub, which is KB-VULN 2. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download it. I think this machine is not difficult at all. However, you have to follow the standard methodology. Otherwise, you will spend a bit long time to finish it. So without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM. Sorry, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You are greatly appreciated. As you can see, I've already done the map scanning with the usual options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, and use the option of -p- to do the comprehensive scan, and then use the option of the uppercase PN not to do the live testing for the target. And therefore, of course, this is the IP address of the target or the machine. And then output the result into this file. The format is ON or national format. So from the map scanning, we can tell that the target has 5 open ports in total. The first one is 21, which is running FTP service, and also the version information. From the default script scan with this FTP service, we can tell that the target doesn't allow anonymous login. And the next one is 22, which is running SSH service or secure shell service, and then the version number. As we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. The next one is 80, which is running HTTP service and also the version information. And the next 2 ports are used by Samba service. So, as I mentioned in the other video, if you have already followed my channel, I mention again and again, the methodology for the enumeration is that if the target has a service running like FTP and Samba or NFS file sharing service, in general, such service should become the first choice to enumerate. This case should be the 21. And we can use such a exploit utility to see whether this service and version number has vulnerability. As we know, this version doesn't have exploitable vulnerability except this DOS service. This is not what we are interested in for this machine. And then from the map scanning, we can tell that the Samba service are available. So how to enumerate Samba service? We can use 2, or utility is as SMB client with option uppercase L and followed by the IP address of the target. And we can supply the password of my own machine. As you can see, except this default share, of course, such a default share cannot give us anything. And beside this one, there is anonymous share. And next, we can open your eyes. Of course, we will do that later. So we need to access this share remotely, and we can use the same utility SMB client -- anonymous. As you can see, we have already logged in to the target as Samba service or through Samba service. There is one file, zip file. We can get it down this file. Then we can exit from the Samba service or session, and then we can unzip or decompress this file. As you can see, We have already got a file ready, and there is one text file we can remember. As you can see, even we have already got the username and password. So far, although we didn't know, sorry, my bad, didn't know where to use such credentials. And I think it's a good practice to note down such information onto our notebook. Credential. And then I think WordPress. So from this directory name, we can tell that the target is possibly running WordPress application. So this is the backup of the long time application. So we can go inside this directory. Yeah, a lot of WordPress installation or directories and files, and we can cut out this config PHP. As you can see, even from this file, of course, I've already done similar machines for so many times, and we know that this file contains credentials. For example, here we can get another username, and we can note it down to our notebook. And then this one. Okay, I think we have already done everything for the downloaded file or necessary files. And now we can go back. Maybe we need to do the immersion for the HTTP surface, both manually and automatically. Let's launch our browser to do the immersion manually first, and we can put the IP address of the target. As you can see, we got, maybe I need to refresh the page. This is the default Apache 2 page, which doesn't reveal anything important. And also under the standard methodology, we need to check the source code of this page. And we can scroll down to the bottom to see whether we can find something interesting. Nothing at all. Next, we need to check whether we can access the robots file. Robots. Nothing there. Next, we can use Nicto. You know, Nicto is very important utility to emulate web application because it can give us very rich information. For example, like version information, the header information, and also sometimes can give us the vulnerabilities or exploits information about the web application if the target has. And then emulate out the common files or directories. Of course, the built-in word list is a bit small compared to other directories or more professional directories. However, if we come back to the Nicto, as you can see, the Nicto has already discovered the WordPress directory. And from these files, we can tell that or confirm our earlier discovery. The target is running WordPress application. And then we can access this directory, WordPress. As you can see, oh yeah, we have already loaded this page. But I think the page is not loaded completely. We need to check the source code. Maybe we need to configure or append this host name to the host file. So how to do? We can do by run echo KB VULN and tunnel to sudo host file. As you can see, it's done. Now, if we go back the browser, refresh this page, as you can see now, this time this site is rendered properly, and we can scroll down. Yeah, we have already know that this target is running WordPress. So I think, of course, we have already got the credentials. Maybe this is used by the WordPress administrators panel. Before I do that, I like to do the directory enumeration. For example, we can use GoBuster. Followed the IP address of the target, and we can use W option to specify the word list, GoBuster directory, and for the extension option, something like that. As you can see, we have that GoBuster can discover the WordPress directory as well. I will not wait for this to be finished. I think we cannot find anything else beyond this or except this directory. So now I think it's time to try to use the credentials to log in to the WordPress panel or administrators panel. And we know the directory name of file is wp admin. As you can see, we got the user login panel back. And we can try to copy the password. Username is admin. Login, as you can see, it's working. Remind me later. Since we have already got the WordPress access, and from the left sections, we can know that this username admin, the current user, is administrator. As you can see, the role is administrator. Then how to do? After all, the next objective for us is to get initial foothold or get the shell on the target. So how to do? There are several ways. The most preferable way is to go to or navigate to the sim editor, and we can understand, we can go to the 404 template and then remove the code, and then we can copy. Of course, I need to copy the PHP reverse shell file from my toolsets directory, and then we need to do some modification. To be specific, we need to change the IP address of the machine or the attacking machine. In this case, should be our Kali Linux. I need to get the IP address of my own machine. All right, and also I'd like to change the port number to 555. And then write and quit, and then we can get out this file. We can copy the entire code of this file. And then we can put into this block or this field. Then we can update file. Click. However, we got an error, unable to communicate back with the site to check for fatal errors. So sometimes you will encounter such a problem. So maybe this way cannot work for this scenario or for this machine. And the next choice or next option is to use Metasploit framework, because Metasploit is so powerful and easy to use. So we can launch Metasploit console. And then we can search, because I cannot remember the exact module name. what I can remember is keywords at the mean, and then we can use this module and paste in here. Yeah, we do not need to change the payload type. This one is good one, and then we can show options, and of course we need to configure the required options or fields. In this case, of course, we need to set localhost to our Kali Linux. We need to set the local port number, for example, to 555 or any other port number what you are comfortable with. And we need to set the remote host to, we can set the host name KB. I cannot remember the host name. All right, KB-VULN. And then we need to set the target URI. Target URI. WordPress. We need to set the username as admin. And also we need to set the password for this user. We can copy this password from my notebook. So I think note taking is very good practice for the penetration. And then we can put it in here. Then we just run this module. As you can see, it's working. Meta session 1 opened. Then we can get the command shell session, and we can run ID, which is www-data, and then we can spawn the bash session, import pty bin bash. And then we need to do the local immersion to make lateral movement or escalate the privilege. First of all, we need to go to the home directory. There is one user, KB-admin. And then we can go inside this directory. Yeah, we got the user, of course. Now we can retrieve the user flag without any problem. And then we can get out the note. Yeah, I think maybe the Docker is involved in this machine. Yeah, we need to keep this information into our mind as we move forward. And then we need to make access to some supports which need to be accessed frequently during the penetration. So for example, OPT module. Yeah, there is container. Of course, at this moment, we don't have a permission to go inside this directory. We have permission denied. Cannot list the files. All right. Next, we can go to the var directory and then backups the file. Nothing there. And then we can go back and go to the www and go to the HTML directory and cat readme, what it's about. Nothing. Yeah, the system administrator is KB-admin. So I think the author give us the hint. The KB-admin is system administrator. All right. Okay, and also remember me text file. We have already reviewed this file earlier during the immersion stage, and now we can go to the WordPress. And I think we have already retrieved the information for this file. As you can see, we got the password and the username. Now I think it's time to use the automatic shell script to do the immersion. We sometimes we are afraid we miss very important information or vector. So how to do? We can, Of course, I've already got the, no, we can copy the NimPears shell script from my two sets to the current working directory. And next, we need to upload this shell script to the target. How to do? We can set up the web server locally on the Kali Linux, and then we can go back to this shell. We can use wget to upload. In order to run this shell script, we need to make it executable, and then we can run this shell script. You know, this script is so useful. We must, in almost every case, for the penetration, we need to utilize this shell script because it can help us automatically enumerate out important information about the target. For example, like username information, process information, cron job information, SUID binary information, capabilities information. As you can see, it's done. Now we need to scroll back to the top to see whether we can find something interesting or vectors. And such information always will be highlighted in yellow and red. Capabilities information, SUID binary information. Yeah, username and password for the database collection. We have already got that information earlier. On job information. Yeah, some exploits. Of course, maybe we can use the Metasploit, the local exploit suggester, to try to elevate our privilege. However, before we do that, do you remember? I have already got some usernames and password. So maybe one vulnerability which is very common in the CTF-like machines, the username and password, especially password, are reused. So I think before we try to use Metasploit to elevate privilege, we need to test whether this password or this password can be reused by the system administrator, and we can switch KB-admin, and we can copy this password. Not working, authentication failure. We can try another password because we have already got two passwords. KB-admin. And we can copy another password. Paste in here. As you can see, it's working. Wonderful. So we have already made successful lateral movement. And then next we have to do is to elevate privilege. And we need to do some more local enumeration. For example, we can check whether the current user can run sudo. It can. Even can run all commands without supplying the password of a root user. So the escalation would be very, very, very easy. I must point out, right? So we just run sudo bin bash. From the banner, we can know that we have already made successful escalation. And then we can navigate to root directory, and then we can get out the root flag without any issue. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye.